everyone, it's Marc from CricketBatInfo back, and here's another review. This one comes from Elliot, a modified long blade version of the Tendulkar profile. So the Tendulkar profile on their custom configurator is 27.1. He's talked to B3 and they've organised a modified version of this. So if he'd gone for the standard Tendulkar, he would have needed a jumbo cleft, and that profile comes with an edge spec of 38mm and 74mm spine. So to suit the standard cleft, he's changed this to a 40mm edge and a 67mm spine, and they've also selected a lower density cleft. This cleft has been selected specifically on weight. You can see a pin knot running through here. Obviously this part of the bat is not the playing area on a long blade bat. You're looking at this area here, particularly with the profile, which I'll show you now. That is the B3 modified Tendulkar profile. See there how low it goes, with the spine running all the way down through into the toe. Basically you've still got hitting area down here, all the way through there, all the way up to there, and about there is where you get your pin knot. Then your edge starts to drop away. Your spine still continues up, but we'll see how it actually taps up on the scales. So this is supposed to have a edge size of 40mm, spine of 67. Let's have a look at the shape. It's completely full like the traditional Tendulkar. I can see a little bit of weight that's just been taken out of here, just to keep the weight down. Other than that, it's pretty full all the way through the toe. You can see that there on the other camera. So the grains themselves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 uneven grains. Tiny little bit of speck here, and obviously this pin knot that's come through this area here. We'll check with the gauge right now and see how it goes on the gauge. So I can see immediately we are slightly under the 67. B3 use a 4.5mm camber, so you lose about 0.5mm there. And I can see on the spine we're losing probably 1.5. So I'd say this will come in on the gauge at 65. As far as the edge goes, it looks like we're about 3 under. So we'll check that now. So I'm expecting we'll see here about a 37mm edge. And it says 38.5. This bat has been knocked in though, so I'll take that into account. They have rounded the edges. And a little bit smaller there, a bit more rounding on the heartwood, so a bit more work's been put in there, 37.5. As far as the spine goes, I'm just going to rough this one. And I can see 65, about 65, 66. Let's have a look at the specs down here at the toe. Got a nice thick toe. 21mm there. Will be the same on the other side, and because of that spine running through the centre of the toe, you get a large thick toe, 33mm. Up here at the shoulders, one of the features of the Tendulkar shape is they keep that weight going through. Obviously with a long blade bat, that will affect the balance slightly. So we've still got 16mm. But it is a nice looking bat. I can see some slight sort of sanding or machining marks through there, obviously with the CNC. Probably like to see a little bit better job on sanding, to be perfectly honest. This one seems to have a little bit more marking than the last one I've seen, but it's, look, the actual finish of it, the feel of it is perfect. It's just I can see this sort of machining marks. Obviously when you're cutting with a blade, it's different to how a CNC cuts, which is purely like a router. Landed for 500, so that's what they call grade 2 willow, and I guess they've graded it purely on the density. So if the Tendulkar shape is a 3.1 minimum, and this has got a lower density cleft, then we shouldn't see this come in around 3.1. I'll pick it up before I go there. Beautiful shape on the handle, lovely semi-oval at the top, It feels like a Gunner Moore handle, to be perfectly honest with you. It's nice and thick, slightly semi-oval at the top. The owner's gone with the camo. They have two types of camo. The new style handles, which are 2 cork, 1 rubber in the centre, and you can see they're the English B3 Union Jack. So bespoke because it's been modified. So in my hands, the balance on this bat is absolutely stunning. To be honest, I don't know if I'm picking up a heavy bat. It feels like a 2.9 to me, if I'm perfectly honest. It's just lovely balance. I would expect if I put my finger here, it'll balance out, and yeah, you've got all that wood. It's just lovely balance. So let's see what it actually weighs. So 211.3. So this is 7 ounces less than the full Tendulkar, and obviously with those modifications bringing down the spine, you're probably looking at 4 ounces there. So yeah, it's definitely a low density cleft for the size of it. Remember, you've got sort of that whole area is low hitting area. So if you're a tall person, generally you'll be hitting lower in the bat. And we'll just test now the bat to hear what it sounds like. So we'll start at the toe. And it's straight into it there with that spine toe and that full dimension. It's really low. And it's a very wide middle. Right there it's going great. That's obviously right in the meat, which is in a mid-low to slightly mid position. The largest cross-section of the bat is. Keeps going. And we'll see what happens when it hits the pin knot. So the pin knot is dead.
I just want to pause the video at this point and explain to you that what's actually happened here is Elliot has chosen a specific cleft, which I'll put the picture up of the original cleft. When they've done the preparation for it, they've face planed it and the pin knot has come through at that stage. But by that stage, he's already picked a cleft specifically based on the density, and he wouldn't get the weight he wanted if they chose a different cleft, which they obviously didn't have because this one's such low density in that grade. I think specifically he wanted a butterfly style willow, so that's why the willow looks the way it does, chosen for performance over cosmetics.
A little bit there. I think with these type of things you've really got to see how they react, but quite frankly that's way above where you're going to be hitting. I mean, if you're playing a pull shot and you hit it up there, that's a mistimed shot, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. But the rest of the blade, nice and straight. Uneven, but nice and straight. He won't mind if I take this over since it's been knocked and bounce a ball on it, so let's do that next. Okay, so once again we'll start off with a old 4-piece kookaburra. Very old 4-piece kookaburra. And down low, just packing a punch. See what happens when I hit that pin knot. Well, it's not as bad as I suspected. Obviously, bowler's not hurtling down 1 kilo mallets at you. This has a little bit of a hard sound to it. The rest of the bat feels fine. Needs play in, but right there in that middle, it's going really nicely. But it goes everywhere. It's a nice bat. Dukes. And that's just flying off of it. I think when I started doing these I got a little bit carried away and was hitting the roof a lot, but I try not to these days. So there's no seam marks in the bat, been well knocked in. It does need a play in. So if you take it easy with the bat, it should be fine. So I really like this. if you were going to order it, that's the shape number 8000. So they would punch that in to give you that identical bat at 211.6, and it feels nothing like it. So yeah, really nice bat. Well done to Elliot for working with them and coming up with a modified Tendulkar profile. Thank you very much to Elliot for sending over both this bat and the Trot that we've seen before. He's obviously right into his B3 bats now, and he's loving it. So there you go, B3.